Top 8 flawed engines ever installed in production vehicles. Enthusiasts frequently boast about their car's dependability and performance. When you've made a wise purchase, you eagerly share your success. However, most individuals hesitate to proclaim a regrettable choice. With automobiles, you often discover it's faulty too late. What starts as exhilarating can rapidly become a catastrophe. Handling vehicle troubles is the worst. When it exceeds a minor fix, it becomes exasperating. Significant engine issues are even more distressing. Realizing it's a common flaw but not readily repairable is demoralizing. This is what marks an engine as among the worst on the highways. Inherent defects engineered into them during assembly. Here are 8 engines worth avoiding. Let's dive in. Triumph V8. Triumph was a now-defunct British automaker that once prospered on the British Isles. Among their designs were several compact 2-seater convertibles with equally compact 4-cylinder power plants. These convertibles enjoyed modest popularity with several units sold in America, including the Stag. The Stag showcased a brand new Triumph V8. Despite Triumph's access to the renowned Rogue V8, Triumph's leadership decided to construct a V8 from scratch by combining their existing 4-cylinder into a V-shape. This design preserved the original water pump placement, but when the upright block was angled to form a V, the pump ended up elevated in the V. This positioning caused the pump to be easily deprived of cooling fluid. If a leak occurred, the pump was the first part to run dry, causing overheating and engine breakdown. Additionally, the pump's high placement above the radiator cap made it challenging to fill entirely. Another problem was with the head studs, half of which were perpendicular to the block, while the other half were slanted. When the engine overheated, the heads distorted and warped, making these studs nearly impossible to extract. Some buyers even replaced their engines with Ford or Buick substitutes instead of repairing the Triumph V8. These flaws drastically hindered Stag sales, and Triumph never crafted another V8 engine. Cadillac V864. The Cadillac V8 holds a legendary status in the American automotive industry, with Cadillac being an early innovator of these engines since 1914. By 1981, however, Cadillac faced difficulties due to the fuel crisis, where their large vehicles and engines were considered wasteful. Engineers introduced novel technology aimed at improving fuel economy, but instead it misfired, severely tarnishing Cadillac's reputation for decades to come. The V864 engine, a 6.0-liter V8 developed by Eaton Corporation, introduced a groundbreaking engine management system with throttle body fuel injection and numerous sensors for monitoring. It aimed to enhance efficiency by deactivating cylinders via solenoids on rocker arms under specific driving scenarios, effectively transforming the powerful V8 into a more frugal V6, or even a 4-cylinder setup during highway cruising. However, plagued by a sluggish 1970s-era computer, the system often malfunctioned, resulting in substandard engine performance. Dissatisfied owners quickly had the system removed from their 1981 Cadillacs, prompting its discontinuation for the 1982 models. It would be decades before technological advancements enabled similar systems to reemerge. Now commonplace in contemporary automotive engineering. Oldsmobile Diesel. Diesel engines are renowned for their fuel economy, yet they come with notable drawbacks compared to gasoline counterparts. They typically involve higher production expenses, deliver greater torque at the cost of power output, and produce a persistent exhaust odor. Despite these challenges, Oldsmobile engineers experimented with diesel technology to improve the fuel economy of their full-size vehicle lineup. Oldsmobile aimed to replicate the success of European brands selling diesel in America by using its dependable gasoline 350 V8 as a foundation. They created a stronger reinforced block, not just adding diesel heads, and introduced fresh diesel heads. However, the engine fell short, producing only 120 horsepower and 220 pound-feet of torque. It was excessively noisy, emitted dark smoke, and used the same 10-bolt pattern as the gasoline version, which caused bolts to stretch due to high compression. This led to blown head gaskets and widespread severe engine failures at Oldsmobile service departments. Diesel engines were offered from 1978 to 1985, but the poor experience damaged the market for diesel cars in America for decades. GM 3.6 high-feature engine. The GM high-feature engine, jointly developed by Cadillac and Holden for the 2004 model year, has seen widespread use across GM's brands in various configurations and displacements. Known for its dependability when operating smoothly, Issues surfaced in the 2.8 and 3.6-liter variants during the 2007 to 2010 model years, affecting vehicles like the Buick Enclave, GMC Acadia, and Cadillac CTS. GM addressed these problems by the 2012 model year. The timing chain is critical for this engine, ensuring valves open accurately with variable valve timing through hydraulic cam phasers driven by the chain. Maintenance is essential to keep the chain tight and well lubricated. When it stretches, symptoms like a check engine light and hood vibrations, particularly at idle, appear. Neglect can lead to engine misfires, metal shavings in oil, and potentially catastrophic failure, requiring a costly new engine up to $7,000. Early detection reduces costs, with timing chain replacement typically costing around $3,000. Jaguar V12. Few vehicles compare to the sporty yet sophisticated styling and fine British craftsmanship of a Jaguar. Known for highly collectible classics like the iconic E-Type, Jaguar continues to build aspirational machines today. The V12 engine, first installed in the E-Type, was also used in the XJS and XJ12 until it was retired in 1997. Primarily found in the XJS and XJ12 models, the V12 is a remarkable piece of engineering until it requires repairs. Taking a look under the hood of an XJS can be quite daunting. The engine is a complex maze of wires, vacuum hoses, and fuel lines, presenting a challenge even for experienced mechanics. The cooling system, while just adequate, is overly intricate with an unusual design that doesn't handle temperature changes well. Even slight overheating can cause a drop valve seat, leading to expensive repairs. The electrical system supplied by Lucas is another major concern. Known for their unreliability, these British components were already outdated when first installed. Troubleshooting is particularly difficult, often due to multiple issues occurring simultaneously. It's harsh to label the Jaguar V12 as the worst. As the engine itself is fairly robust, however, maintaining it can be costly and stressful. On the positive side, these vehicles are undeniably stunning. Cadillac Northstar V8. The 1993 Northstar V8 was Cadillac's first dual overhead cam engine, marking a significant technological leap for the brand. This 4.6-liter V8 featured port fuel injection and an all-aluminum block and heads. It was initially designed for front-wheel drive vehicles, but later adapted for the SRX and XLR. The Northstar introduced many cutting-edge features for electronic engine management. Its initial output was 295 horsepower, later boosted to 469 horsepower in the XLR-V Roadster and STS-V. Despite its success, Cadillac eventually returned to rear-wheel drive vehicles. The Northstar engine was retired in 2010. This sophisticated and potent engine helped Cadillac compete with European and Japanese brands. Some Cadillac owners have faced blown head gaskets due to torque-to-yield head bolts that stretch over time, causing coolant leaks and overheating. Repair requires new head bolts, ideally thicker and stronger replacements from a SureGrip stud kit, but it's a costly fix that involves removing the engine. As these vehicles age and depreciate, this repair becomes less appealing. Chrysler 2.7 V6. From 1998 to 2007, Chrysler featured the LH engine, available in 2.7-liter and 3.2-liter sizes. It powered models like the Sebring, Concorde, and Intrepid, offering moderate power and efficiency without standing out in either aspect. However, long-term owners faced significant problems that emerged well into the vehicle's lifespan. A couple of years after purchase, customers began to complain about issues with the engine. Mechanical inspections revealed an alarming amount of sludge buildup within the crankcase. Engine repairs were costing vehicle owners thousands of dollars, and the Center for Auto Safety called upon Daimler Chrysler to issue a voluntary recall on all 1998 to 2002 Chrysler vehicles with the 2.7-liter V6. A poorly designed water pump allowed coolant to leak into the crankcase, turning the oil into a gel and clogging oil passages. This could lead to complete engine failure. Ford Triton 5.4, the powerhouse under the hood of millions of Ford trucks. The Triton 5.4-liter V8 with overhead valves and 3 valves per cylinder sparks debate. It's widely praised for its robust performance and efficiency in the F-150 lineup. Ford enthusiasts boast about its longevity, often showcasing hundreds of thousands of trouble-free miles. However, not every owner shares such success stories. Ford 5.4 V8 engines are generally reliable, but some suffer from sludge buildup in oil passages, causing problems with cam phasers or variable valve timing. This can result in a ticking sound and trouble codes indicating cam and crank position mismatch, leading to performance issues or even engine failure if ignored. Phaser repair costs can reach $2,500. Pre-2003 engines had problems with spark plugs blowing out due to thread deficiency, while 2004 to 2008 models have a two-piece plug design prone to breaking during removal, leading to costly repairs. Despite many trouble-free trucks, concerns have deterred buyers, including noted mechanic Car Wizard, who advises against purchasing these engines due to frequent replacements. Determining the best or worst engine is subjective. Many have positive experiences with engines others criticize. Listing engines isn't an indictment of everyone. Chosen engines have inherent design flaws reported widely. So folks, there you have it. 8 engines that promised performance but delivered more headaches than horsepower. Some were ambitious experiments, others just plain miscalculations. But every one of them left a mark, for better or worse, on automotive history. Have you ever owned one of these problem-prone power plants? Or maybe you've had a different engine horror story. We'd love to hear it in the comments. And if you found this video helpful or just downright fascinating, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and ring the bell so you don't miss the next deep dive into automotive triumphs and tragedies. Until next time, keep your oil clean, your spark strong, and your engines trouble-free. This is SUV Detective, signing off.